As parts of the city work to clean up after this past weekend's floods, questions remain about how it happened and, more importantly, could at least part of it have been prevented. H.J. Bosworth of levees.org joins us now. And before we get to the point that you believe there are some things the city could do to at least lessen this, let's talk about the challenge, because I think you're going to echo what every other engineer I've talked to is. And if you get 8 inches of rain, what's the result?
The result is you're going to have flooded streets. The system is big enough to handle the first ½ inch just with the drains and whatnot that are in place. After that, they can pump a ½ inch an hour out of the system. There are some areas that drain better than others. Certainly an elevated area flows better to the pump stations. Lakeview and Mid-City are relatively flat, particularly Lakeview, and it's difficult to have that water flow to those pump stations.
Well, and I'll let you lift up this map. This is a little low tech, but I think it's very revealing. You brought this map for us, which shows the drainage system. So what's the challenge here for people who are trying to pump out water in Lakeview, for example?
Okay, what we have here, the lake is here, Jefferson Parish is here, Uptown and Broadmoor are down there, and right here we've got Lakeview system. Now, Lakeview is fairly low. In fact, one of the lowest areas of the city. Settled late, back in the 1940s and 1950s. And because it is so flat, it's a very big challenge to get it to drain. The water flowing right here near the intersection of, say, Veterans and Polk has to go through the neighborhood, zigzag, 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 end up at the Orleans Avenue pumping station.
So it has to end up down here before it gets pumped up, back up to here to the river. Wow, all right.
Right.
All right, let's talk big picture for a second. Let's say money were no object, or that we ought to make this a higher priority, and I mean big dollars. Could you theoretically devise a system with canals and pumping capacity where you could lessen the idea of this, and what would the cost be?
Oh, wow. The cost would be pretty substantial.
Meaning billions, probably.
Yes. Probably the easiest way to encourage or to help the water get to the basins adjacent to the pump station would be to make sure all the catch basins and the smaller drains are all clean. So as soon as those drops of water fall on the street, they can make it into the catch basin. They don't have to go through a bunch of leaves and sticks and trash and whatnot, get to the drainage basin, because it takes time.
And that's pretty low-tech stuff, but I know when we discussed this yesterday, you suggested that, as I remember what you were saying, that this ought to maybe be a city priority or a sewage and water board priority. Somebody needs to put some dollars up to get a routine maintenance regimen?
Yeah, routinely maintaining the catch basins is something I think may be an easy fix and something that's way overdue. I remember as a kid, I would see catch basins cleaned out, but in the past 10 years, I haven't seen a whole lot of it. And the more those things are cleaned out, the better off we all are.
You don't think that that's just something the average guy can just go out, or the 72-year-old woman who might happen to live there can just go out and lift that old catch basin?
Should lose a finger. The covers of those catch basins weigh over 400 pounds, if my information is correct. And you have to be pretty clever and fairly strong to be able to maneuver something that's that heavy, move it out of the way, and then dig out the leaves, the sticks, the trash, and the unknown substances that are in those catch basins.
So devote some resources to it, in other words.
Yes.
Okay. H.J. Bosworth from levees.org.
Thank you.
Thanks as always. 8:16, here is Shelby with your Weather Authority forecast.
All right. Thank you, John. Here's